My name is Meera Narula, and professionally I'm a surface designer. I supply design solutions to companies that deal with linear surfaces, especially the likes of ceramics, carpets, textile companies. And academically, I have been qualified as a fashion designer from NIFT and as a textile designer from NID. And it was during my last year at NID that I got the opportunity to intern with General Motors as a color and trim designer in Michigan, USA. So you'll see that during my presentation, a lot of inferences have been taken from vehicles. And my presentation here today is about looking inside ourselves and seeing how we are as human beings. What are our limitations mentally, physically, emotionally, and how design has incorporated some of these, and how it can further incorporate them to come up with a better designed future. There have been there must have been various instances where some of us would have forgotten a friend's birthday or an anniversary and made up by saying, I'm sorry, we're just humans. And we have a tendency to forget. We forget passwords to maybe one of the many websites that we are a member of. You have a key fob to locate your car if you've parked in an open space like a mela. And in case you're focused on driving and there's a tendency to not read, to forget to read the lens cluster, then you have the little light that blinks to tell you that your fuel tank is empty, and you can remain focused, but you know that you have to stop at the next available petrol tank to refuel. So these are small mistakes that we make as human beings. Now, a good design intervention that's come our way in the times of energy crisis is the smart switch. The switch basically just flips every time the energy consumption level goes up way too high or way too low than the standard consumption level that has been set onto the switch for an individual consumption house or for a community center. Moving on, BMW has come up with a soft car they call the Jinnah, runs on artificial intelligence and thereby negates the scope of human error. Rinspeed Senso has come up with a vehicle that senses the mood of the driver. And if you're stuck in traffic feeling angry, the ambient lighting will go to blue, it will soothe you down, thereby avoiding road rage. And if you're feeling lethargic, it will go green. If you're feeling you're losing focus, it will go orange. Basically the vehicle's interiors are connected. The pulse rate of the driver is connected, and there's a motion camera that senses all this, and then the ambient lighting responds to the same, along with fragrances and music. So, London Transport Museum, 2055, they say we'll have the luxury to just sleep inside the car. All the vehicles would be connected with the interhub, and we can just sleep in the car. My question, so in 2055, are we going to redesign the interiors of the car? Can we just party inside the car while it drives away itself? Another design opportunity is flatulence, as we call the passing the gas, breaking the wind. It's even socially embarrassing to talk about it. Pregnant mothers, people who are into fitness and take high fibrous foods face this problem a lot of times. And my Google research tells me 10 to 20 farts, it said, is normal. So you're not going to start popping pills for this condition. It's still socially embarrassing. So now we have fabrics that are impregnated with perfumes thanks to nanotechnology, and you have great technologies for sound absorption. So why can't we put these two together, come up with apparel that's integrated, that integrates the two, or maybe seating that integrates the two, and you don't need to be socially embarrassed anymore. So human imagination and necessity, when put together, can bring us to great interventions. People over here maybe were children when you first heard about Aladdin and the magic carpet. It was much later that the movie Fifth Element showed flying cars. And it is today that Peugeot has come up with Metamorph, where the vehicles climb up vertically on the wall. But in 1960s, Herbie series already showed the car going over the fences and balancing over the rail. So now, if we have so much of visions, we have all these avant-garde imagination, why do we not put these to use in times of crisis? Why when Ron Heron came up with the walking city, why can we not apply that to the crisis in Japan? Or how about taking the instance from that lovely animated movie called Up, where they showed the house flying off with the balloons. What if Japan, the entire city of Japan was stationed on a hot air balloon, and every time they felt the tremors, the whole city would go up to a non-dangerous level. Moving further and talking about imagination, at GM, my team's creative designers' dream was to provide bike ride experiences to the city of Moscow. Now, the city of Moscow is really dark, it's very overcast, and it's very cold. And people in Moscow love the color black. The malls over there are very, very lit up. People and for the vehicles in Moscow, they add fog lamps, they add host of floodlights, you can see down there. And what we did was we came up with a car which had black diamond tricoat as paint, and then defined the exterior of that vehicle with Lightroom technology. It's a non-LED based technology, no heat builds up, very little carbon footprint, and it illuminates, defines the vehicle, tied up the same into the interior, inviting interior with the ambient lighting. Now, because Moscow is very cold and the moisture conditions are really bad, I came up with this, I found this material called a hydrophobic glass, and the entire windshield was made of this hydrophobic glass, so that because you want the people to have a bike ride experience, they see complete clarity in all moisture conditions. Another thing to add to the bike ride experience was I used Lumalife fabric as a headliner, wherein I put in motifs of trees, and you can see that in the video to follow. That's the headliner. My second vehicle that I did for rural Russia. Now that's the condition of highways in rural Russia. There is snow, there is sleet. So very, very bumpy rides, and as you can see, and you have another sample there, I came up with these fabrics that had cushioning in them, and during the bumpy ride they could act as acupressure points and provide cushioning. And because there is snow and there is sleet, the exterior finish was given such that they camouflage all the dirt, the dust, the grime. And those are some of, the next slide would show you some of the other color options in the exterior finishes. So very minimal parts inside the interiors, and the entire thing was roto-molded out of one single component. Usually there are 300 components that go to make an interior of the vehicle. And this is something that we made for transit, that I made for transit spaces. When you're waiting in queue to buy movie tickets and getting impatient, or when you're waiting for a friend in a cafe, you can have reflective tiles. So they'll reflect distorted images of yourself, and you can have a good laugh, and that's kind of a stress buster. Something I did recently, it's a blind. You usually spread a blind to cut off light. Here the light infiltrates over the surface, and then with the play of the shadow in the dark, you can see the units of prisms. Something to celebrate light. If you did not have light, you would not see color, you would not see dimension, you would not see shadows. And finally, this is some of my tries with CD covers. It can be made of fabric, and you can embroider it to personalize it, or you can make it in first thing in the morning. So maybe we can have this 30 or 31 pack of tea bags wearing your personal zodiac sign, and you can read your how your day is going to turn out. And thank you so much. I'm going to continue to dream that within this lifetime, we all get to experience a magic ride on a carpet. And just the way every time we cheer when the opposition batsman makes a mistake, maybe we can look at our mistakes as human beings and bring up things to cheer about. Thank you so much.